right. Shalom, Salaamah family. I'll give you all a little bit of time to come on in here. Shalom, Second Exodus. Shalom, Rahama. I am the original Linus Den. Shalom. Shalom, Jeremy Jones. Wait for some things to pop up. Shalom, Humphrey Abogeya. Nateka Betayu. Jace Clover, Ross Talley, Shalom, Carrington Smith, Ninja Firewolf, Enya Salcedo, Shalom, Ernest Higgs, Nuya Ziki, Shalom, Abba's daughter, Shalom. Get you all time to come on in here because I'm always posting things a little off the cuff. Shalom, Marquand Allen. Shalom, Calvin Aldris. All right, family. I know a lot of us are in the Northeast or northern states are feeling the blizzard. You're feeling the cold. So I'll give you all a little bit more time to come on in here. Mateo did a great job of the Antichrist, because this really does tie into a lot of what Teo has had. Because let me tell you this, family. I'm going to get on into some things, and there's going to be a lot of black folks that are going to be getting hurt, because this is going to be a video for introspection. Okay. And that introspection is really how we have developed and how we have really modeled our actions from our enemy. See, the thing is, let me get on into this. Give me a second. Give me a second. So, again, Shalom, Salaamah, Siemi, Shalom. Greetings, my Israelite family from around the world, whether you are grafted in under the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, or you are under the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, under the bloodline of Israel. And let me tell you, just because we're under the bloodline, that doesn't mean we're saved. That just means that God has not forgotten about you. The Most High has not forgotten about you. And so today, this is kind of coming off some personal things that I've had going on. And I always have personal things going on. Everybody has personal things going on. I just don't want to share those personal things with you all in great detail because, here's the thing. I will share them for whatever the Most High needs me to share them for. William Smithers, Shalom. It doesn't mean that, Karis is keeping secrets or this or that, and what is he doing or how is he saying? Listen, that's not my nature. But what I will do is, this today and this morning for some of us, early afternoon for others. I wanted to go over what we have been dealing with in our families. Because here's the thing, the family subset represents the community, and then that community is what's represented to this nation. And if you didn't understand how this thing works in the United States, then you will always be subject to the circular damnation that we have had as a community. Because a lot of us don't understand the issues of our community. It always revolves around ourselves. Pamela Golden, Shalom. And so, I always think about this where they say, they put cocaine and crack in the Black communities. Yeah, they did. They put guns in the Black communities. Yes, they did. The problem is we grabbed it. The problem is we went on in there and we looked on up how to make the base in that cocaine to get that crack percolating. See, the problem that we don't want to deal with, because we deny our own history. We deny our own history because when we accept what we have and how we've done this to ourselves, you got to remember, just like I had said a couple of months ago, vanity is our destruction. And vanity has continued to be our destruction. Shalom, Abbott Cole, and Coco G. Oh, Abbott. Yeah. I'm going to get to that. But when we don't understand how this game has been played against us, we tend to not realize that the game is really just still going on. And how that game is going, we're still losing. We're still losing. You want to know why we're still losing? Is because we're trying to find somebody to save us. We're always trying to find someone or somebody or something or some organization to save us. See, we thought that when we had got off of the chattel plantations, we didn't understand that there was a mental iron strapped around our heads. Yeah, Rawls, we don't want to hear how we done took the bait and we ran with it. We don't. Because you have to understand what we've done is that we've done everything that our oppressors and captors allowed us to do. And they literally just allowed us to destroy ourselves. And as we have always tried to put the blame on someone else or put the blame on this or put the blame on that, we tend to not understand, well, there's some historical references, there's some historical issues within all of our families that caused things to deteriorate to where they're at right now. So, this was just me. My dad and I were talking the other day, last night, matter of fact, and we were talking about some things. We are talking about our family history, and we are talking about, the legacy that should have been left behind. Because here's the thing, we are all suffering on out here. Nobody gets a free pass. Nobody does. We may be doing better than others for a season, but you got to remember it's always for a season, because we're always under the curse of perpetual need. That's Deuteronomy 28. We're always under that curse of perpetual need. Why? Because our own people have no regards for the old or the young. So what does that mean? There's no type of preparation that we try to do for each other. I looked at Dante's thing last week about some of the scams that were going on within our community. And you want to know why that really touched me? Is because we don't have the infrastructure to even provide for ourselves. Let me just tell you this, folks. Every time they talk about, well, there's a fund, or there's this or there's that. Here's the thing: whenever you're putting your money with somebody, you always know, for Black folks, there's a 90% chance that it's always a scam. Can I be honest? There's always a 90% chance there's always a scam, because what is a poor person going to do with the money of another poor person? And let me be real with you. I can go ahead. I'll get you. I'll make this money for you. It'll be invested. It'll be reinvested. It'll do. And then you ask them, so what type of professional credentials do you have to assure and ensure that what you're saying to me is accurate? How are you even licensed to get what I need to have? And then you want to know what? They say, well, I know a person that knows a person. And then it's like, oh boy, here it goes. Here it goes. Because you have to understand, the game is, because I was just in the middle of this. The game is, well, we'll get you licensed to do financial products. Reach on out to your people. Talk to them. Find out what the needs are. And everybody has needs. I was putting on out there. Everybody has needs, because nobody here really has a great understanding of money, because you want to know why? It was systemically done that way to keep you financially illiterate. So much so that your distrust doesn't just come from your community. Your distrust literally comes from your own and within your own family. And the reason I'm saying that is because when I was talking to my dad was explaining to me, it's like, look, we have money within our family, but what happened was that when his dad, my grandfather, had married another woman, before he left New York to go to California, where he ultimately passed away, he had left all these accounts that's supposedly within the family. And the one thing that I was thinking about is, how do we do these things just so foolishly to our own people? Well, here's the problem. Of course, when he had left my grandmother and married his wife, the wife that he had until the day that he had passed away, there was always issues because of the money, the internal money struggles. And it's not the money. I'm telling you, money is one of the roots. It's just the resources that's allocated to us because there's a lacking that's externally placed on us to be crabs in a barrel to one another. And remember, the way that we try to get money within our community is that we go to our community. We don't go to the white communities. We don't go to Hispanic communities. Go and ask them that you're in need. Go and ask them that you're in want. Can you help me on out? What did you do? Look, I've done everything. Look, I don't do drugs. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't even drink alcohol. I'm working on this. I'm working on that. I need provision. Well, we could help you, but because you're black, we need to take care of that family first. Can I be real? Can I be honest? Well, do you see what I'm trying to do? Do you see how I'm trying to, help in my environment? I'm trying to positively influence people to win hearts and souls for Yeshua HaMashiach. Yeah, but you want to know what? I don't think that that's credible. And there's really not that credibility because guess what? The white media says so. What? And you have to understand, see, there's always a systemic flaw within us because we really don't want the truth from our own people. This is why, believe it or not, UA is going to have as much money and funding as they want. It's because we're easy targets. But look, some black people look as if you have a statistical category of 100 black folks, at least 8 black folks are gonna side with us. Because why? They're gonna still maintain that slave environment. Because why? Because it is a generational curse that they know that they have over us. You want to know why? You see the statistics. At least 3 or 4. At least 8 to 9. It just depends. It doesn't matter. But there's always going to be folks that will take the bait. And yeah, Sean, you're right. That's the same. That's the same with my situation. And you have to understand. See, what we do to people and what we do to each other in our present situation is that we cannibalize each other. Because you want to know why? That's what they made us do. And so we'll have some grandiose, well, we have this project, well, we have this thing here, well, we have this thing there, and we need to get group economics, and we need to do, yeah, it all sounds together until the plan starts moving. and starts matriculating, because then we always do this. We always, I don't know what he's going to do. It doesn't sound good. I don't know about that. And do you understand? A lot of these business plans are prospectuses that they use and they take it to the banks. These white folks will have business plans to take to the bank and say, look, I need to have money. Because look, this is my plan on how to make the money. And guess what? Our business plans will be so immaculate, so intricate down to the wire. How we'll use PayPal, how we'll use different donations, how we will use logistics to ensure that the materials are there, making sure we know who our vendors are, seeing our vendors' records, making sure the products are going to go on out, understanding the times with the shipments, how the orders fulfilled, making sure our accounts receivable matches on up with the inventories. We will have it all in check. We'll have it all strategized. But then what happens? They'll pick them over you. Why? Because I'm going to systemically limit the resources. And then we get mad. We do. We get mad. Why didn't that? What's the problem? What the problem? The problem is simple. You're in captivity, man. You're in captivity. See, I'm not going to lie. For the last 20 some years, captivity was good with me. Me and captivity and myself, we were okay. We enjoyed each other. I knew my limits. You know, they knew that I knew my limits. We were good. Oh, that's truth. Nah, I'm gonna stay away from that. Because why? There's gonna be a level of sacrifice that I don't want to provide if I tell this truth. If I work for the Most High. It's not profitable to do any of this. Half the times, you want to know what my days are? Half the times, I'm studying on this real estate stuff to help out because I have the ambitions to work with Rob to get this thing on the ground to help him sell homes. And then the rest of my time is I'm doing job applications because I need to have income. Now, thank the Most High that I haven't been totally disparate. But that's what I've done. That's what I do. And when I'm not doing that, I've been working on my classes. Because you want to know why? I had the inclination that if I do what I'm supposed to do in this society, as long as I keep my mouth shut doing what I'm supposed to do, if I have the education, if I have the licenses, if I have the certifications, then guess what? I should be able to get ahead and exceed. If you've noticed, that has actually been systemically failing within our communities. Because remember, everything that we had been quote unquote promised is right in the 80s and 90s. You know, crack is whack. You know, get your education. You know, listen to Dr. Huxtable, right? Listen to Dwayne Wayne, right? Listen to all those folks, and you'll see that if you have your education, if you play within the system, if you trust the system of your captivity and oppression, then guess what? You'll thrive within the system. And you know, there is actually a sobering statistic that had been blasted. Because I'm telling you, as all this stuff comes on out, we are starting to see that these cracks have been there for a long time. They've been there for a long time. Man, do you understand? They were saying, there's studies on out there that was saying that the Caucasian population had already started dwindling since 2000. And by 2010, it was already going to be a negative rate. So imagine that that's already on out there. Wait a second. If we're going to already dwindle, then guess what? We need to sustain them. Or we need to not sustain, excuse me. We need to find a way to categorically sustain ourselves and systemically bring them down. So what have they been doing? Hey, you know what? If you're half black, if you're half white, just put other. Just label it like this. Just have it like that, and we're gonna move some numbers here. We're gonna move some numbers there. Okay, if you're Hispanic and white, or if you just want to categorize as white, so the gameplay, the statistics play was all going on. Because you want to know why? I can't have you see the truth of what these demographics are doing to us. Because you want to know why? Everything that we had indulged in, that sinful, was starting to catch up to us. And that's now being seen right now. See, I know that we're hurting, but I know that in the middle of our hurt, in the middle of our pain, everybody is usually there's a level of peace and comfort because we know that the Most High is moving. See, I know that, man, if things get cut off, if bank account looks low, if things start declining, oh, well, my hope is in the Most High. I don't need to worry about this. I may have to sit in a little bit of discomfort for a minute. But you want to know what? The Most High's got everything. I may have to be, disabled or not or afflicted for a time or two. But you want to know what? I've seen where this happened before, and it was a miracle that something happened. It was a miracle that provisions occurred. So I'm not here trying to preach a Creflo Dollar, Kenneth Copeland, TD Jakes sermon. If you give, you give. If not, guess what? I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to keep it moving. And you know what that problem is? It's not between you all. It's not between anybody that listens. It's between me and the Most High. Because I'm going to tell you this. Yesterday I had gotten off the thing. And for me to move forward in the real estate stuff, I still have to produce monies to take license test. And then on top of that, then there's more out-of-pocket costs and expenses. I'm like, okay, if I want to even get there, I got to have a job first. Because it sounded good. It sounded good to say, I could be my own boss. I'd be working with Brother Robert. And, Brother Robert's like, look, this is how we're going to do it. It sounds good. But you want to know what? The resources. We all lack resources. Nobody can just get on out there and do it on your own because they don't expect you to. They expect you to be at their whim, at their beckon. And so as I was going through and going to put in my applications, I was looking at a lot of stuff and I was seeing a lot of stuff. I said, wow. I said, Father, am I going backwards? Is this thing going backwards? And for a moment in time, I was in prayer and then I lashed out. I said, Father, my situation. This situation is terrible. I said, how do I have all this knowledge and education experience? I said, but this is happening. And you know, I cried on out. I got mad at him. I got mad at, look, the Most High and I, we get mad. The Most High, look, I get mad at him. I get angry at him. I get frustrated at him. If you don't, then that's between you and the Most High. But I certainly do. I certainly do. You can have a righteous anger. I don't say, you know, well, I forget it. I'm just gonna be an atheist. I forget it. I'm just gonna go on over to the UA and see see what money they're dealing with. I don't say any of that. Honestly, I always just say, like, look, if I'm done, let me know when I'm done. Because it doesn't look like this thing is working on out for me. And I was sitting on there clear up until about Teo's video. And then during the video, a couple things that happened, a couple phone calls came through. And that gave me a little bit of life because things are actually moving. Now, I don't think people are actually hiring in the capacity that they're trying to say that these jobs are coming back. Oh, I definitely doubt that. I do not doubt that at all. But from there, it was really sobering because, you know, I talked to my dad. My dad said, "Hey, if you need anything, you let me know." And let me tell you this. I think the last time I asked my dad for money was literally about a little over 20 years ago. Because honestly, I don't go on out and I don't beg. I don't tell people my needs and my concerns. You know what I do? I just said, okay, well, Father, if you put me in this position, then guess what? It's your responsibility to get me on out. I said that's it. I said, Father, whatever you bring on in for me, I know 10% goes to the storehouse. That goes to our people. That goes to our people. And so, you know, the thing is, when that happened, you know, as my dad and I were kind of talking, after I was listening to Teo and things of that nature, my dad was telling me about the stuff that was going on in the family, and I had no idea. It's like, yeah, we have this, we have that. And so lo and behold, I said, let me take a look. There's all these accounts floating around in Florida and New York and California, basically all the places where my grandfather had been. Because that's what we will always have, right? In our family, there'd always be some sort of a mystery money, you know, and provision that one of our ancestors had, one of our relatives had. But you know what they wanted to do was keep it to themselves, like they could take it to the grave, right? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep this with me because I'm gonna have to have this when I get to heaven. And you know, it was sad because as I was on the phone with my dad, I said, "Well, let's just take a look." And then lo and behold, here's all this stuff going on. And you know what, the thing that was sobering, okay, let me just tell you this, folks. I'm not trying to talk to you about, well, I need money, this is money, this is no. What I'm trying to talk to you about is, listen, the way that we have had the problems that we have had in our history was always focused around the provisions, and those provisions were always in a monetary manner. And the problem that we have, let me tell you this problem. The problem that we have is most people that would entreat the finances and be the most, you know, callous and stingy towards the finances were those that we would call our ministers and our deacons. those that we would say would be the preachers and the hearers and the doers of the word. And so I had to think about this, because let me explain this thing to you, why this discussion is so tantamount to what we're seeing right now. And why we are seeing all these folks that are claiming that they're clergy or they're people of the cloth and what they're ministers somewhere here and there. And they're saying, guess what? I've been praying about it, and God has said to get that shot because, this is how we do it. And I'm going to tell you this. Listen, I'm going to make this declaration right now. YouTube's going to probably shut me down. Most of those pastors are operating in the spirit of vanity. And they've been doing that for almost well over 130 years, since they realized that their handlers, through their Greek organizations or whatever organizations that supported that Masonic order, has allowed them to be successful. And now we're seeing that spirit of vanity begin to creep itself up, because you got to remember, you know what vanity and vainness does? It's I will succeed and exceed in what I do, as long as it doesn't affect me. So guess what? I don't care about you. I care that my account has this amount in the end of the day. And then you see these folks talking about, well, we're going to have a campaign to make sure that we're going to have these vaccines and we're going to focus it on our people. Yeah, okay. Just like what they did 100 years ago with Margaret Sanger and the clergy. Yeah, okay. Just like what y'all did the last time. In slavery, in chattel slavery, honor and obey your masters. That's what they did with the slave Bible that had over 900 chapters missing. If you had the King James Version and you had the slave Bible version, the slave Bible version would have over 900 chapters redacted from it. So that's what they were mad at. Well, these black folks aren't listening. Of course we're not listening. Of course folks are coming to YouTube and they're listening to this. If this is wrong, then tell us where we're wrong at. If this isn't biblical, then tell us why. Because why? That shepherd has caused those sheep to be in derision, going from what? From mountain to mountain. That shepherd has what? Has sold out the sheep to where the wolves are devouring it. And let me tell you, family, when I was talking to my dad and I was, explaining things to my dad and looking at the pictures with my granddad, it said this. It said, Deacon Copeland. Deacon. But my grandfather, I guess he still tried to provide. He still tried to live in biblical principles. But a lot of the stuff that he was doing with my dad's stepmom when he would see them out in California, and how these things would happen to where she wanted to control and monopolize all the resources, all the monies. And so, it was funny because as the story had gone from my dad, he was explaining, when he was talking to his stepmom, so on my dad's side, there were 5 kids. And on my, I guess, great or, grand stepmom's side, there was 5 kids that she had before the marriage. And they had 1 kid while they were married. So a total of 11 kids. The uncle that I had, he had passed away recently because he had some issues and concerns. But let me explain this to you, because you have to understand, you see things by their fruits. And so the child that they had, he passed away, and there was drug involvement. Because here's the problem. The problem is, when you do have so much resources, you're not really appreciative of what you have. And so you see that in the dominant society. What are they always going all over? I need my opioids. I need my, whatever that you have going on. It's like, why are you escaping life? You have all you need to do is just stick with the script, stay with the program. What was the script? What was the program? Look, to just halfway do what you needed to do, and you're going to get promoted. Because why? Because you're part of the oppressor class. When you see a racial injustice happen, what do? Well, you turn the other way. That's your lot in life, and you say, "Well, thank God it ain't me." Right? Zechariah 11:5 in full motion. Well, yeah. So if it's me, trying to lend a hand, that it's really not going to amount to anything. It's a systemic thing that's broken. So, you know what? I wrote my congressman about this. I've done a feel good moment. Oh, and guess what? I did a little promo on NBA Cares. Oh, I did something on NFL Play 360. Oh, I did something with the United Negro College Fund. I gave him $10. That absolves me. Yeah, I've done my part. And so now we're looking all crazy and strange. And then what we don't understand is, what have we had within our families to get us to where we need to be, or where we are at and not where we needed to be? Where did we fall off? And so I'm talking about my family, but guess what? My struggles isn't unique. This is where we're all at. This is how we all sit here in this world. Some of us are still fine, but here's the thing: a majority of us, the records have already shown, basically about 90% of us, we're in the midst of struggle of some sort. We're in the midst of need of some sort, and guess what? It only just got compounded with this COVID-19 situation. So as we're bringing all that stuff up, all the family history on up, I looked, and the woman that my grandfather had married, well, she's a pastor. And on top of that, not only is she a pastor, but she also has an organization with her name that's incorporated such and such ministries incorporated. And then it's like, well, such and such ministries incorporated. My grandfather was known as a deacon. Wait a second. How are they going to be up in this thing trying to represent their church and trying to represent the church if their fruits are condemning them? Because you got to understand, family, this was the game plan for our destruction. See, this is why we deny our history. Can I tell you this? It's sad. It's a sad history that the only thing we know how to do is just destroy ourselves, and we don't know how to lift each other up. Because when you begin to lift up your generation, guess what you have? You now have a fruitful generation. And see, on my dad's side of the family, on the Copeland side of the family, we were basically the loser side. Nothing was going to be coming out of that side, because what they tried to say is, we got the cursed end of the stick. Because you want to know why? Because those finances, those riches, right? Those blessings went to that side of the family. And so on my grand stepmother's side of the family, her kids had basically received the money that should have gone to the other kids. and her kids were able to get the college and the education financed, because they had the access to the resources. And see, what my grandfather did, he still had resources for his other kids, but he couldn't outright say, here it is, because guess what? His wife that he was married to would have done everything in his power to keep those resources away. And so lo and behold, yeah, those resources, guess what they did? They're sitting up in the state unclaimed. And yeah, if she had the power to claim them, she would have been able to claim them. But you have to understand the way that things go when you're using fiduciary tools. This is what I'm about. This is why I'm getting my doctorate in business administration. I may not know much about the genetics, but let me just tell you, I know about generational curses making our pockets holy because some moths have eaten them. And if you don't understand how the moths work, then guess what? You'll never be able to get out of that curse. Thank you, Larry Cornell Bryce. I appreciate it. Hallelujah. So this is what we're seeing right now. And I said, I got mad today. I said, I'm going to lose some subscribers. I said, because I know what? I said, Father, I have to dip into the carnality. I got to dip into the flesh. I have to have a righteous anger, because when you have, listen, even David got angry. David had a righteous anger. We just think, oh, David was holier now. No. Because you want to know why? They want to keep you docile while they do what? While they rape you. And here's the thing. I see it with my own. I see it within my own family. Hey, you know what? If you're having family that's hurting, guess what? You give to the needy. If you see a neighbor in need, guess what? You give to them. If you see somebody on the corner in our community, you give to them. See, when I was not in want, I would see folks. I'd drive through the hood on purpose, and I'd see them, and I'd say, "Here you go. Here's some money. Bless you, because you're going to be blessed. Know who you are. Because the moment that you actually know who you are, the moment you actually start getting out of that circumstance. And now I'm going to tell you this. I really don't drive that much because there's really no need for me to drive to different places. But if I see somebody, here you go. And the funny thing is, when my dad was giving me this story, I couldn't quite understand how bad things were. And then I started to understand it. Yeah, they were shunned as the ones that didn't have access to the resources. Because you got to understand, listen, family, listen. The enemy will empower who he wants and who he chooses to ensure that his system maintains. Let me explain this thing to you. The enemy will ensure who he has that will be a great representative for his system. This is why we see these crazy doctors talking about, come on in, get this vaccine. My name is Kizzy. See, I'm doing it. Look, y'all can do it too. Get your vaccines. And now you're seeing all these folks getting all these crazy reactions all of a sudden. Because you want to know why? Look, it's a double-edged sword. Look, they must be blessed, right? They're doing something right. Right. Look at the situation. See how they're living? Oh man, they're living in that little mansion on over there, gated community. Look at that. You see how they living? They're living off the golf course. You know, they doing them all right for themselves. Look, they must be doing something right. How are you complaining? Look at you. Look how you living. You see them? Look. And then what we get enamored with is we think that wickedness and the riches that we get from wickedness justifies wickedness. That's what we do. That's what we think as a community. Oh, it ain't that bad. Well, you know it is, and this is that. And then guess what happens? Then guess what happens? Then those same people get put to shame. And it's an eternal shame. Hey, I saw what you did to us in Babylon. You tried to genocide us. Well, I didn't mean it. It wasn't like that. They told me something different. What are those excuses going to be? What are those excuses going to look like? How are they going to try and justify that action? You see what I'm saying? You understand where I'm coming from. This is what these folks don't understand. Because you got to remember, there's a point in time when that wickedness will no longer be allowed. Oh, yeah. Second Exodus. And let me kind of tell you this. Let me preface this for you, because this was something that was really eating away at my spirit. It wasn't that the fact that the Most High wasn't providing or wasn't going to provide, but what was eating away at my spirit was when I was telling you of how the Most High was doing things, right? His enhanced interrogation tactics. Basically, he's torturing these folks. They can't stop these things. You see how bad these deaths are? Okay, every single day they're having a September 11th. Let me explain this to you. Think about this. Listen to me. Every single day for almost the last 2 weeks, they've been having a September 11th every single day. I told y'all YouTube's gonna cut me off. If you want to support me right now, you better get to my Cash App or Patreon, because YouTube's about to cut me off. They're not liking these words. This algorithm's gonna be all messed up. What happened to Karis's live stream? And that's where we're understanding that it's gotten out of control for them. So they're trying their best to do something that they think is going to save them. But they don't have an arm mightier than the Most High. And so I had looked at an article the other day. I think I may have posted it in my Patreon. Yep, I posted it in Patreon. And I showed in the Patreon, I said, look, these churches are trying their best to think that they're going to try to repair and to repent. And they're going to have that level of repair. And then they say, well, we've done stuff to Black people, but we're going to give back to the Native Americans. And you're like, what? Like, dang, do they really hate us that much? Oh, yeah, OG3, MA2. No, you're not understanding. You're not understanding this. They're not going to keep you from there. They're going to actually unsubscribe you, because I've seen a lot of unsubscribing happen. Because I told you that. We're hidden. We're shadow banned. They give all the tactics to keep us censored. But going back, yeah, we're going to give it back to the Native Americans. What? Wait, they've been receiving something. Oh, you hear about a Native American getting some sort of reparations or recompense almost every year. That's not fitting the bill. And then guess what happens when they do that? An enhanced interrogation technique. See, I'm telling you, what you didn't understand was God had already snapped out a shoulder, and he had already twisted up an elbow. Okay? Let me tell you how this thing is working. The Most High is literally squeezing them into submission. He's like, you're almost there, but since you want to, act the fool and not actually say something, boop, there goes your other arm. Why? These folks can't even get it together. Think about this. You see America's arms are broken. America's arms are literally in a double cast. Think about this. Understand that. Their arms are in a double cast. Well, Lord, let's do this show of faith. We're going to pray. We're going to get on our knees. We're going to have a national day of prayer. We're going to have a statewide prayer. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. We're going to do all of these motions and commotions. And God's looking at them like, and I told you, this is going to be by my arm. This is going to be by my doing. And everything that they try to do, man, it's just putting them to shame. It's putting them in folly. Talking about the vaccine, and then here you go. The Pfizer president doesn't even want to take it. Oh, I'm just going to wait my turn. Yeah, right, fool. Get out of here. Trump and his administration, no, we're not going to do it. We got to weigh the ethical concern. Yeah, right. So when did ethics really come across your plate like that? Come on now, please. Black folks aren't foolish like that. Lil Wayne, could you make more rap tapes? Jay-Z, do something. Do something. Ice-T's like, I ain't doing nothing for y'all. I told y'all it was a contract with Black America. You're not even Black, Ice-T. This is where we're at. And it's sad because we never thought that we would be in this predicament. Well, actually, we knew we were going to be in this predicament, but honestly, they didn't. So as much as we are hurting, you want to know what? I'm going to tell you this. I know this is my carnal. Lord, forgive me. Most High, forgive me. But in my carnal is, as much as all this stuff is deteriorating, I'm actually satisfied. I said, oh, okay, guess what? Look, I know that my misery, it's not having company, but my misery means that there's a hope that's attached to it. And my hope is in the Most High because he's doing what he said that he would do, and his word is confirming it because his word is eternal. His word isn't just something that somebody made on up, or something that somebody tried to say is done this way or done that way. No, his hope is something that we can see on a daily basis, because you want to know why? They're telling on themselves of what they can't do. And guess what they're doing? They're explaining how they are still living in their curses. They're explaining of how their curses are still too much for them. So as we're literally separating, let me tell you something. You want to know when the nation's birthed, right? You want to know how a nation is birthed in one day. You want to know how these labor pains are going, because we're all going through it. We're all feeling it. We're all feeling the labor pains. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. Oh, this bill. Oh, that. Oh, that's on a squeeze. Look, you want a pain? You know what the pain does? The contraction is a pain, right? It's a pain because you want to know why? Because something's moving. Now, I have 4 kids. I've been in their births, all of their births. And as a dad, just like, okay, Father, give her strength. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. And you're excited, and you're seeing your life labor, but you know that it's not in vain, because you know that that's a hope. You know that that's a hope because that hope is for your descendants to be better than you, to do things a little bit better than you, to have things a little bit more than you, to be able to produce more than how you produced. That you give them the tools and the keys, and despite not having all that you wanted to have, you are giving them that fire that they can have more than what you've had, and then some. And so then your seed will continue to flourish. Yeah, that Exodus slide. Look, that Exodus slide is going to come when they say, look, we need all black folks. Get up on out your house. When they start rolling through that neighborhood with that bullhorn, attention, all darkies. Attention, all darkies. Y'all know what I mean. I know that there's a lot of Middle Easterners and Indians in here. Attention, all darkies. Get on out of here, darkies. What? People are going to get mad, I am running up on out of here in some drawers and a robe. What did you say, man? Getting tased. All right, drag him along. Look, I'm telling you, when I leave my house, I make sure I have everything. Because if the deal goes down, I'm not trying to be out of here flat-footed. I got my little tactical gear and everything. I'm good. Brother's good. You're not gonna catch me slipping because they want to emotionalize things and have us emotionalize things. We should understand a little bit better than that. Yeah. You know how that goes. Look, they'll call us a racial slur, and guess what? You're gonna get your intended targeted audience, because everybody's gonna be like, what'd you say that for? That's the police? Oh no, I'm getting this on YouTube. And there's a be hearing that pop. And next thing you know, everybody's getting jolted. You better be careful before they try to scrape you on up with a bulldozer, just dumping us all up on in the the little dump truck. I know y'all can't breathe, but when we get to your camp, you'll be briefed on what happens next. Yeah, we do. We react to stuff like that. And that's just our natural. And they know how to push our buttons. And see, this was a little different because when with my situation and things of that nature, what do Black people usually do? We just shut down. Like, man, forget this. We shut down. Let me just be honest with you. You want to know why they'll never have a race war here in the United States? Because you want to know why? Because Black people just shut down. Man, F that. He said the F word. Yeah, because we just be like, F that. We ain't doing nothing. You don't have to come get me. Don't you want to fight? I ain't fighting for nothing. You can fight to get me off my couch. You can fight to get me off my table. I'm not doing nothing. That you got to do something. Nah, I'm not doing nothing. You got to fight for this. Fight for what? Oh yeah. Yeah. They've been studying this for 400 years. They knew this time. They knew this date. They knew that we would figure everything out because you got to remember the tactics that they had is that we would try to deny the tactics. No, it's not going to happen. You know that there are Black folks still denying the tactics of what they're trying to use against us right now. They're trying to say no. Do you think that they would try to actually do that? Yes, absolutely they would. See, if you don't know who you are, and if you tried to say, I'm going to deny, then guess what? You're going to deny reality and you're going to end up dead. It's real simple. How many times? See, we think that logically. See, this is what white people think. And I'm going to tell you, look, I'm always fearful of an invasion, of a pending invasion. Because you know what? Because white people always think like this. Well, if we're going to get invaded, then guess what? The invader is going to have the decency to tell us we're going to get invaded so we can prepare for that invasion. And then you look at them like, are you crazy? What? That doesn't make sense. The whole thing about rules of engagement, right? The only ones that follow rules of engagement? Let me tell you this. The only ones that follow rules of engagement are white folks here in America. We made that up. Well, I'm going to give everybody a head start, get prepared, get hunkered down, and then I'm going to shock and awe you. It's like that's the battle book that every country is supposed to follow. And it's almost sad. And that's what I was telling you. I said, oh man, that's how we get defeated because it's an arrogance. It really is an arrogance. Well, how come they didn't go? They cheated. Don't we hear that all the time? I used to hear that all the time. Playing them in basketball, something like that. And you know that they weren't really good. They had a couple moves, but they weren't physically superior. They weren't athletically superior. And so when the sheer athleticism would overwhelm them in the basketball game, look, he cheated, he fouled me. I couldn't drive the lane. I got my shot blocked. It was a foul. And then, They use that same model and they think that the rest of the world is going to follow it. And all I could think was, man, that's folly. Well, yeah, they're going to do it because we're the United States. They listened to everything that we said. And I said, oh, yeah, we're done in a few years. Man, when I was hearing that a couple of years ago, I said, oh, yeah, we're done in a few years. I get it, Father. I know why you woke me up. You're giving me time to prepare. You are giving me time to prepare. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for waking me up. Because sometimes I usually say, you know what, Father, put me back in the matrix. Do I still have that thing in the back of my neck? Do I still have that thing in my shoulder, in my arms? Let me get some dust on out of there. Because, Father, I need to be put back in the matrix. I'm done with this. Please let me sleep. Have that big old dagger. Yeah. Just put that dagger right there. I just want to be asleep. And that's where we have understood, look, this thing was never going to be easy at all. Yeah. Florida reported 13,000 coronaviruses. Man, everybody has coronaviruses in the state. And I don't believe that 101 new residents died. I think these folks are dying like 300 or 400 people at least a day. With all these old folks that are here in Florida, and I'm telling you, I kind of live right by a fire station, not even a mile away, and all I keep hearing is, the little sirens going. And then it was shown that Governor DeSantis had hid the numbers. He lied about the numbers because there was a gap in the reporting of deaths. Because why? Him and Trump were boys. Why do you think Trump is going to be here throughout the inauguration? That's an ominous tale. He vacated DC. Y'all better go see Teo's video from the other day, from Monday. You kind of see how things are happening. Don't worry, Black folks. We all gonna be up in District 12. Y'all might as well just get your jean overalls, find whatever jean jacket that you can with the gray shirt. Get you behind the Lowe's or Home Depot and get you some garden gloves. You have me picking this cotton. Shoot, I ain't gonna have no blisters. I got my little Scott's garden gloves with that durable little plastic poly leather. I ain't getting cut up on my fingers. I gotta, because after I pick that cotton, I'm writing some letters complaining. How am I on out here picking this cotton when a few weeks ago I was a CEO of a company? No, forget this. Forget this. Lucky I got my little gloves from Home Depot when it said, yes, we are going to participate in games to ensure the continued continuity of our districts. Everybody person will be like, yo, it's time to go. You would be seeing Black people in Exodus just rolling straight down to the south. We got to get strength in numbers. Chicago would be like emptying one in like 12 hours. Don't even play. They're gonna be like, look, St. Louis is the last is the stop where you get gassed up, and then we're going farther than that. Nope. I'm not doing it. Only cotton. Oh, only cotton you're picking is out of a bottle. Look, you hope. Be one of those ones that want to sell out. They're not going to tell us to do that. That would make no sense. We're in the age of COVID-19, and these fools are trying to tell people to get a vaccine that's only been around for less than 6 months. Now, sense went out the window a while ago. Please. Please. It doesn't make sense. That makes plenty of sense. I told you, our economy literally has not grown since 2004. It makes sense. Yesterday, the Fed said they're going to keep buying bonds, not government bonds, corporate bonds. It ain't growing. Do you actually want to know what that means? That literally means that's communism 2.0. It's capitalized communism. So if you want to have a job, you better have a job that's in that capitalized communist system. If you ain't in no JP Morgan, if you ain't in no Chase, if you ain't in MetLife or all those insurance companies that have their bonds on out there, shoot, then you're not doing anything. You're just waiting for your job to say, we're insolvent. We got to dissolve this company. Your last checks are today. What? It doesn't even give me time to look for a job. Why? Because you ain't going to find no job. Well, there's plenty of job postings. Okay, tell me who gets hired. And black people scratch their head. Well, you got this. Okay, how's that going to work? I don't know. The news said so. I listened to the news. The news said that. Yeah, that's the same news that said that this thing wasn't going to be that bad. And now here we are, over I think we're almost 310,000 deaths later because they can't stop it. I have articles, and that these folks in Thailand, they're like, look, there's super. There's literally super genes that are connected to Neanderthal genes that affects white people. That's causing them to die from corona faster. And here's another article. Now they're up to 17 genetic mutations that they really don't know how to defend against. So if you're taking this vaccine that isn't there to fight off the virus, then why is it in your body? Well, I don't know. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. You got to look at this. You got to look at that. We're going. Yeah. You're right. Still think America's going back to normal. No, that's what they try to say. That's their mentality. They're thinking that all this stuff is going to go back. I've had it too good. This isn't going to be the end of this empire. We're going to be okay. And look, I had told you all the last time, the plan is to basically lullaby them to sleep. Because this is what the word says. In 1 hour, she will be destroyed. It's going to come quick. Why? Because these folks are getting ready to carry her away. Carry who? Her people. Her people. Not us, her. Wait. Where are those black folks going? Oh, they're going over here. These white folks are gonna be like, the funny thing is, that's gonna be a mass awakening when that happens with white folks. And because they're gonna be looking at, okay, what? Wait. Why are the black people in that line? Why are they all happy in that line? Why are they in that line on over there doing the wobble? Why are they going to oh? Why are they saying that? Why are they saying that? And we got these long faces. What's happening on over there? All of a sudden, Teo's teaching, Dante's teaching, Pastor Kelly's teaching, Pastor Omar's teaching. They're gonna be recalling all Pastor Darby's teaching. Well, at the 8:08 mark, at the 1 hour 56 mark, I remember that was Who Are We? I remember that Cry Judah. But I just thought that they were just kidding. Oh, they're gonna be quoting videos and and timestamps like they quoting the Bible. The Holy Spirit done told me that that in Judah land. Wait. Is it still too late to go with them? Hey, y'all done made your choice. No, I can do the look. I got some rhythm too. I can do the beat. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Man, we even on the electric side. We still doing the Cupid shuffle. Get out of here. But you know what they're gonna send me. You know what's gonna happen to me. Why did you say something? People are gonna be in that line like it's a Soul Train line. Wait, you said everything was gonna be okay. Everything was gonna be fine. Yeah, it is. You on over here. Look, remember, you wanted black people to go back to Africa. We're just gonna send them back to Africa. And you know what? We're gonna keep you all over here so you all can thrive and be the best. And be the best what? Oh, you're gonna be okay. Look, you're gonna be okay as soon as you put this stuff on. Let me make sure we get you got the little tracker and everything on them. It's gonna be a sad day in America for them. It's gonna be a sad day in America. Because they're gonna be like, wait. Are you telling me that these folks were for real? They're gonna try their best. They're gonna try their best to jump into the line. Because those folks that I believe that would be in the line with us, those white folks that will be in the line with us, those Latino folks, those Native Americans, those Asians, all those other countries, and be like, look, we know who they are. Y'all didn't want to pay attention. I wouldn't say anything, but I was listening. Please. You see these folks? Trust me. Don't think that them Arabs are going to be like, oh, I'm going to be in there in those white folks' line. Those Arabs will be like, no, we're going to head on over here with them. We're going to be on over here with them. Those Mexicans will be like, no, we're going to stay on over here with them. So why y'all in our line? Look, they look like they're going to go to their funeral. Y'all looking like y'all going to y'all are getting ready to get on a port call and like you're heading on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Have that music going. Please have your band ready to scan. And next to board, Copeland party of 50. Yeah. Rolling up on that game plank. Yeah. be throwing them deuces. I'm out. Give it up for the Copeland family. Fist on the sky. Yeah, yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You ever been on a cruise? Next, the Johnson family. The Johnson family coming from out of Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. Next is the Kelly family. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. It'll be a Soul Train line. It'll be a Soul Train line. Everybody be, doing a little dance. And you know how black people are going to be. Black people are going to be like, okay, fam. Everybody listen. All right, listen to me. We're going to step to the left, step to the right, then slide up. Every black person have his own dance. Then you're going to twirl. Having black people looking like they had a cutout of the 5 heartbeats. No, we're going to take this step of the 5 heartbeats. Y'all take this one. Sometimes this nights like this, that raindrops would fall. Be sounding like the lead singer's character after he got all messed up. Not when he was first on it, but I got my suit. Look, sometimes like this, that raindrops will fall. Nah, man, you done sold out to them. You lucky you getting on the cruise ship. Matter of fact, your behind needs to be down in the galley with the rest of them workers. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean that. Listen. They didn't have me part of that fraternity. Listen. They didn't have me part of that lodge. I didn't mean to. I didn't think that it was gonna go this far. They said that everything was cool. They said a few black folks was just gonna die. You know how we be. Look, we don't die, we multiply like baby's kids, right? Ha 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 ha. Oh man. Oh Lord. I opened up this thing in a very melodramatic fashion. Oh, y'all got me on one. Because that's how it's gonna be. Because they're scared right now. They're looking at this thing right now. Wait a second. Aren't black folks the first ones to break? Aren't black folks the first ones to take themselves out? And black folks saying we don't do that mess. That's what y'all thought. That's what y'all wanted to speak on us. All those curses that you thought you had on us is coming right back to you all. These folks are literally taking their money and they're trying to bounce. What about your kids? Man, forget my kids. What about your family? Man, forget my family. This is where we're at right now. You can see this change. It's not a gradual change. Shalom, contending for the faith. Thank you. Yep. Pat Robertson will have a fit, and Franklin Graham. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be in that other line. They're going to be in that other line. They're going to be on over there all depressed. They're going to be looking. They're going to be looking shook. I've read Obadiah 18 or Obadiah chapter 1. I never thought. It never crossed my mind. Because you have to understand, Steve, for the wicked don't think that it's going to ever happen like this. The wicked are like, no, it's never going to happen to me. And what did we say last year? Man, y'all time is up. They even be giving y'all subliminal messages. Y'all time is up. What have we been saying? Hey, the Most High, we were going to serve this nation for 400 years. Then after that 400 years, the nation that we served shall be judged. And they still can't get it. No, they know that they're getting judged, but they don't even know that the judgment is coming. They're judging themselves. It's like they're judging themselves, and that's where, we're seeing it's like they're punching themselves in the face. They're hitting themselves. All these things we're looking at, it's like, what, it'll be easier if you all just said, listen, let's just find out what we're doing. Let's come with the contrite heart. But you have to remember, see, the pride is a dangerous tool, because pride literally leads you into a path of folly. And it's like when you work with that coworker and you know that coworker is messing up, but they don't want to hear any type of advice. No, I got it. I can figure it on out. I can do it. I'm good. No, this is it. I'm good on my own. You don't need to help me. And then he just said, okay, I tried. And then what happens? A couple weeks later, about a month later, they get shown on out the door. Hey, we tried to work with you, but you didn't want to listen. You're very prideful. You were uncoachable, and you didn't do very well with constructive criticism. Had you been able to receive that criticism, that critiquing, and move forward and that corrective behavior, you would have been able to sustain your employment at such and such. We see that. We understand that. Yeah, Manolo, a lot of them see that we're being judged. They see that. They see the judgment here. They don't like and that's the whole thing. All right, well, let me shut my mouth. Let me shut my mouth. It's just going to blow over. Let me have it blow over. It's good. I'm not it's one of those things like, well, as long as I'm silent, as long as I keep silent, it's good. And then what do they always tell you in the interrogation? Hey, the longer you stay silent, and then guess what? We figure this thing on out. Then once we get you, it's going to be worse. Because why? Because we're telling you to just confess. Isn't that what they always say when they tell you that you have an opportunity for a plea deal? See, the Most High is giving them an opportunity. He actually gave them an opportunity, and He's given them an opportunity clear up until everything breaks out. Because let me tell you, when things break out, you have to understand, things break out, we break out. They know that. Oh no, America will never have anything happen here. No, America, no, no, it's not going to happen. Well, if that's the case, then why are you training? Why are you training these folks? Why are you training these folks in Canada? Why are they over? Why do they have the reports that they're over in Mexico? Oh, it's conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. Because you want to know why? I don't want to deal with reality. And sooner or later, when reality catches up with you, you're not going to like that punishment. So this is where we're at. We're in a time of this judgment. But the more that we are seeing judgment, here's the thing: the more that the Most High is putting on us to have us look introspectively, to have us look. Do you understand? We are supposed to look at all this stuff that we've seen our forefathers, we've seen our family, our ancestors doing. Because if you've seen it and you can describe it and you can attest to it, then guess what you can do? You can avoid doing it for our descendants, for our children and our children's children. See, we were never going to be clean up out of here in Egypt, because it was going to take time once we get out of here into the wilderness. Because once we get into the wilderness, did Israel when Israel came out of Egypt the first time, they didn't go straight away into the promised land. The Most High had to deal with them face to face. And we're seeing that too. There was something I told you all about, something I was talking about on Tuesday, and I was keeping that kind of in close quarters with a few folks, because we're praying on these things, and I said, I don't know how things are going to happen. I said, but God is showing me this. The Most High is showing me this. And I said, I'm not going to say anything. I said, and I said this. I said, we will see as more comes about. And I said, that's why. I said, look, I'm a guy. I'm prudent. I want to be prudent, because I'm not going to say, thus saith the Lord. Share this video. Click these likes. Yeah, somebody has it in there. Somebody's saying it in there. And so when I had thought about that, I wrote that down, and I went and I did a live. And I said, well, Father, I said, I'm not going to do that, because I don't want to say like, well, there's a prophecy, there's those dates again, there's this, there's that. And it's like, well, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If not, then we're still seeing it. But I was thinking about all the things that had happened that day before. And sometimes when the Most High talks to me, he'll talk to me like a day or two after things had happened, and he'll say, this, and this. And so, no kidding, as I had sent that to some of the folks in the circle, and they were like, yeah, well, I wouldn't reveal that till after. I said, yeah, you're right. And I was like, I'll wait on it. I'll wait on it. And let me just tell you, then folks were coming on out. I had a dream about this. God gave me a vision about this. God said something to me about this. I said, okay. I said, Lord, I'm going to keep quiet. I'm going to keep quiet, because I'm going to let you be God. Because here's the thing. If we do things, sometimes we have to shut up on things, because we need to make sure that the Most High gets the glory, not us. So I would say here, look, as much as we are backed into the corner, don't deny your history. Accept it. Because when you accept it, you're now accepting everything. And when you accept everything, guess what? You understand there's a reason these 400 years were relevant. There's a reason why we're going through this fire. There's a reason that we're going through this breaking period, because you understand he's refining us. He's still getting out the dross, but he's getting out enough. Do you understand? We're getting ready to be up on out of here in an unprecedented format. Never before seen. Because why? He's a God that makes all things new. We don't understand it. We don't see it. And that's kind of for me, that's the cool thing about it. That's the thing that excites me about it. Okay, what's he going to do that's going to look so spectacular? What's going to happen is going to look so spectacular. And sometimes when you go through things, it doesn't look spectacular at the time. It's just like, okay, I went through this motion. Okay, where was the spectacular at? Okay, we just did this and did that. All right, what was the spectacular at? And then you look back at it, it's like, wow, he actually did all that. Man, that is something. That is interesting. Because, see, you have to understand that as you are in the midst of the calamity, the Most High doesn't want you to see the calamity. Because you want to know why? What happens when a sheep sees something or gets startled? It gets scared, and then what happens? Other sheep do what? Other sheep get startled. Other sheep get scared. You may look at something, they say, hey, we got to do this, we got to do that, for precautionary reasons. What is this going on? What's happening? What's happening? Next thing you know, the Most High brings us on out. And you're just like, okay, well, I didn't understand that. I didn't see that. I never would have thought of it like that. But that's how the Most High does things. So, family, I appreciate you coming on in here. I started off slow. I really did start off slow. I was kind of spiritually in the gunk. But I'm telling you, a lot of these, when I do these teachings, they're an encouragement, but it's also an encouragement to me because I know how our God is, how our Heavenly Father, our Elohim, the Most High is. Our Father Yahweh, He is a God that listens, and He is listening. Sometimes I had to look at it like this. Maybe He is taking this thing all away because it's happening quick. It's happening quick. You understand? And I'm going to wrap this on up because yeah, you said you saw Capitol Police in our hood in Vegas this morning, making their presence known. Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes, all right, thank you. I appreciate it, Stephanie. Sometimes when you're going through the final periods of birth, you're shedding all the material and all the gunk that was on you as you're getting out the womb. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you're shedding all the material and the gunk as you're getting out the womb. So, family, I definitely appreciate you spending an hour and 45 minutes. That's definitely long. Dante is coming on up this afternoon with some Christmas gifts. Look, I don't be celebrating that pagan stuff. If you want to celebrate it, yeah, that's up to you. That's up to you. We also have things coming on. I believe Ashonda is getting ready to have a New Year's or a year closeout in the next couple of weeks. And things are continuing to move along. Please sign the petition. Sign a petition, sign all petitions, a petition here, petition there, everywhere. But this, it's an acknowledgement that Black folks are understanding what's happening. We're awakening. And we're awakening because you want to know why? The conditions, The conditions are moving. Everything's contracting. The birth pains are here. So I'm telling you, look, COVID-19 was the water breaking. I told you that. COVID-19 is the water breaking. When did that water break? 9 months ago. Oh, oh. This gestation period, almost 9 months. Hallelujah. Let that sink in. Let it sink in. So family, if you do want to support me, again, as I close things on out, you can support me on Patreon. I also have a Cash App. Thank you for those that support on Cash App. I appreciate it. If you supported me on Super Chat, thank you. I appreciate that. The nation is being birthed. You're right. Knocking on bell. It's being birthed right now. Hold on, Israel. Hold on. Okay? But when you get ready, you better make sure you have some dancing shoes. I know black folks, and especially me. You gonna have them the Stacey Adams on? Have them Gators on? Oh man. And don't forget our black woman I gotta have my Gucci heels. My Prada heels. Oh, with the matching Louis. I gotta be clean. Oh. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate you all. And with that, family, Shalom, Salaamah Family, Shalom. Peace and blessings, Israel.